Right, so welcome everybody. If you are watching outside of here, hopefully Caroline will now push the stream to the internet. Can you just tell her to start the stream? So that we are coming to you today, day one of our submucosal endoscopy course. This is something we've not done before, so we want your feedback. There's buttons all over the website to give feedback, but if you can't find them, just mail us at admin@geeks.com for some feedback on this course. It will be, if you're watching in the virtual environment, there's something maybe you want to have on in the background because it will be intermittent. So every time that we are doing something behind the scenes, having some food, socializing, but also getting the patients ready, et cetera, there will just be a blank screen on the Zoom and on the website. So you don't have to be watching the whole time. We'll try to stick a little bit to the schedule that you see on the website so that you can follow and that you know what times to come back and not to come back. All right, so without further ado, I already introduced myself to the people in the room, but we're going to go around the room. I'll start by introducing myself and then everybody else can introduce themselves and say what their level of experience is, please, and what you're hoping to get out of the course today in terms of like one or two solid learning objectives. So course one, Zenker poem, esophageal poem, and submucosal tunneling ESD. So my name is then David Tate. I'm a interventional endoscopist here we are sitting now in University Hospital Ghent. Working together with John Anderson and Roland Valori to chair the GIEQs Foundation. And we believe really in a deconstructed approach to anything to do with endoscopy. And you may say, well, you set GIEQs up as a simple, basic endoscopy. Sure, we did, because there was a huge need. But that doesn't mean that this approach can't be applied to therapeutic and interventional endoscopy. And that's what this course is about in terms of submucosal endoscopy. All right. Lynn, please introduce yourself. So Lynn is a second-year fellow here in Ghent. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Yeah. So I will soon be finishing my 2-year fellowship here in Ghent with David. I started my first year mainly with EMR, and at the end of that year also some submucosal endoscopy like today. And today I think I can do the easy submucosal endoscopy, the easier ESD home. And so I think for me today will be very interesting to have also the deconstructed approach, and mainly in the more difficult situations, and take when I will start soon on my own, take back some more basic let's say principles for when I encounter difficulties, so I can tackle them on my own.
And how many procedures have you ever done, poem?
Done myself. I
participated in?
Well, at least I think 40, 50.
Okay, so that's esophageal. Zenker?
Zenker will be 15 maybe. Yeah.
And gastric?
Gastric around 25.
And ESD of the esophagus, which is mainly where the tunnels are, if not the rectum.
Yeah, maybe 10.
Kevin?
So
welcome to Ghent.
Welcome, thank you. I'm an upper GI surgeon from Scotland. I practice esophagectomy and gastrectomy, and was seeing more early lesions to develop an interest in endoscopic submucosal dissection for management of those. I haven't done an enormous number, but probably around 25 on the upper GI tract. I'm very interested in looking at developing a technique for benign pathology.
Mm-hmm.
My total experience of myotomy is watching David do one the last time I was.
Okay, so this course is definitely for you. So you're, I mean, to play that back a bit to you, you're someone who does ESD, in the upper GI tract, who's not really into the submucosal tunneling approach, and who maybe wants to get into it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. So in terms of expectations, it seems to me that we've got a relatively inexperienced group. Also, the other gentleman who will join us later, because I know him because he's worked here a couple of times, also is in the same category as you. He's probably about the same as you, Kevin, in that he's done quite a bit of ESD, rectum and upper, but he's not really done POEM before, and he's not done G-POEM or Zenka-POEM. So almost certainly the transferable techniques are there, but they're not quite developed in this space. So welcome, Thomas. We were just finished going around the room talking about people and what their experience was. So you've got Kevin from Scotland here, there's Thomas, and you've got Jurika from Croatia behind you. Both of them have come here with probably a bit less experience than you in ESD, but similar to you, I think, fair to say, and tell me if I'm wrong, that they haven't really done much, any submucosal themselves, any real hands-on. They haven't done a myotomy. They haven't got into the procedure. So I do think that you're probably the most experienced ESDist here, but all of you sit at the same level with POEM. And maybe introduce yourself and say where you work, and for the virtual audience who's sitting over there somewhere.
Okay. So I'm Thomas Botelberger. I'm Belgian. I was trained in Ghent. I had a background also of interventional endoscopy training. I spent a year in Canada, and I also was trained in endoscopic ultrasound in France.
We won't hold that against you.
And yeah, I've always been interested in ESD, and I was lucky enough to be trained by David since about 2 years. And I work in Antwerp. It's about 50, 60 kilometers from here. And I can say that I successfully started ESD doing in our own hospital. So yesterday I did the 26th case by myself.
Sure.
And they all have been. Yesterday I did a rectal case, not a big lesion, but not an easy one, and it went well. So I'm extremely happy and grateful to David. He knows very well that I was able to get trained and to be able to start doing myself. So I'm looking forward to today. I've seen a couple of cases, but I really didn't participate a lot in today's topic. So I'm looking forward.
Okay, thank you very much.